Full details in the blog post linked in the description. The blog post will be kept up to date with any new details that appear. 1. Check the brightness of your Fork TV. Check the brightness and contrast settings on your TV. If it is too high, this can cause flickering for certain types of content, especially movies. To resolve flickering caused by brightness and contrast settings, try disconnecting all cables connected to your TV to other devices. Then turn off any nearby fans or lights that may be causing interference. Finally, turn the brightness and contrast on your TV up for at least 1 minute to see if it stops flickering. If so, great, you have solved your problem. If not, adjust the brightness and contrast again until you find a setting that does not cause flickering. 2. Your Fork TV is flickering because the supply voltage is low. 4K TVs have a supply voltage requirement of 12V, while most TVs only need 6 to 8. For TVs, a power supply that can increase the voltage to the required voltage is a simple and inexpensive fix, but this is not the same for electronics. If your Fork TV is flickering, you need a new power supply. For example, a power supply that raised the voltage to 12V would also increase the current, doubling the power consumption of the electronics running off the power supply. These electronics can be sensitive to input power, making them useless or damaging. 3. Your 4K TV is flickering because the 12V are not being supplied properly. Some TVs have issues with their internal power supplies that cause them to flicker even if they have an acceptable voltage range. In these cases, it can be due to bad wiring or poor construction of the TV itself. If you have already checked your power supply and found it to be working fine, check your cable connections and ensure that none are loose or broken. 4. Your TV is flickering because of a bad HDMI cable connection. HDMI cables only carry 2 signals, video and ground, VDG. Problems with the HDMI cable connection can arise when there is interference in the signal from your original source device, such as a Blu-ray player, or if the HDMI cable is not connected properly. Try switching to a new HDMI cable or rechecking the cables. Ensure that you look at the HDMI port on the TV too, since it can also contribute to the issue. If either of these is lost in transmission, your picture will flicker, especially when there is a greater distance between the source and destination devices. To fix this problem, replace the HDMI cables with ones with better VDG insulation, such as carbon-based copper cabling. If you have several electronics plugged into the same source, you need to use an HDMI splitter. This will prevent excessive signal loss and subsequent flickering in your TV's picture. 5. Your 4K TV is flickering because of bad software updates. Some manufacturers may have issues with their software that cause them to release faulty updates. These can include corrupted files or viruses that damage your system or even leak personal data. If it happens to you, it is best to get help from professionals familiar with the software used on your TV. 6. Your 4K TV is flickering because of a bad power supply, PSU. A PSU that suddenly stops working can cause your TV to flicker or shut down completely. You need to check the connections inside your TV and ensure that none are loose. You should also test the power supply on another system, preferably one with an LCD screen that is known to be compatible with power supplies. If the problem continues and nothing changes, then the PSU needs to be replaced. Usually, you would ask technicians at a repair shop, but you can do it yourself if you are familiar with electronics and have the necessary tools for disassembly. 7. Your 4K TV is flickering because of bad capacitors. Sometimes your TV's power supply may work fine, but it still flickers because of an issue with its capacitors. These can be damaged due to excessive heat or physical stress, so they need to be replaced by professionals. The DIY route is a possibility, but be prepared for a lot of disassembly and good fusing skills. 8. Your 4K TV is flickering because the LCD screen is bad. This is usually due to physical stress or excessive heat that causes some components inside the screen to fail. Replace the old faulty LCD panel with a new one. I recommend asking a technician at a repair shop to install the new LCD panel. 9. Your 4K TV is flickering because of bad resistors inside the mainboard. If you have already checked your power supply and found it to be working fine, check your cable connections and ensure that none are loose or broken. Ask a professional who is familiar with the software used in your TV. If nothing changes, then the resistors need to be replaced. 10. Your 4K TV is flickering because of bad capacitors or mainboard issues. Your TV's power supply may work fine, but it still flickers because of an issue with its capacitors. These can be damaged due to excessive heat, so they need to be replaced by professionals. If you have already checked your mainboard and found it to be working well, you need to check your cable connections and ensure that none are loose or broken. Once again, approach a professional who knows the software used in your TV. 11. Factory reset your fork TV. However, first try a soft reset. This is where you turn the TV off and unplug it from the wall for 60 seconds. Doing this resets the internal cache of the TV. Do a factory reset to see if it stops your TV's screen from flickering. After performing a factory reset, try connecting all of your devices again. If the flickering stops, try watching a movie or playing a game on your TV for at least an hour to test the new settings. However, if the TV is still flickering after these steps, it may be because of a faulty screen. 12. USB connection issues can cause your fork TV to flicker. If you are using a USB device, such as a thumb drive, to play content on your TV, this can cause flickering in some instances. Try plugging another device into the same USB port to see if that solves the issue. If these solutions don't work for you, you might have a faulty TV or need to get it serviced by the manufacturer. If these solutions above do not work, it might be time to contact your TV manufacturer for further troubleshooting help. The following are some additional steps you can take. Try powering off the TV and then turning it back on again. Sometimes this can fix flickering problems. If your TV has game mode, try using that setting for fork content. While not all TVs have this feature, it might help with the flickering issue you are experiencing. Consider getting new HDMI cables or switching to a different brand of cables if yours are causing interference or poor picture quality. If you are still having trouble, try taking a look at the comments. I will also update the blog posts linked in the description with any new fixes that appear.